Should have dropped my note. Oh, damn. Alright guys, we're back with another one, and this is my last word review on the Samsung Note 7. So here we have it. This is the Samsung Note 7 in black onyx. This is a glass on glass, aluminum sides, aluminum build, but it's a dark aluminum. It's a dark charcoal type of gray, and it looks good. You got the power button right here. You got the volume keys individualized up and down. I like that. So no matter how I hold the phone, I have access to my buttons without getting confused. Now, you have a 5.7-inch Quad HD AMOLED panel, and we all know Samsung makes the best screens. Fingerprint scanner, 3.5mm jack, you have your Type-C charging, you have your mono speaker right here, and you have your S Pen. Expanded memory, 12 megapixel camera, 5 megapixel camera in the front. This is an awesome phone. Coming with the latest internals. You have the Snapdragon 820 with 4 gigs of RAM. Like I said, expandable memory, and this is bezel-less display, and the top and bottom bezels are pretty small. I like that. You also have your edge panels. You have your people's edge, your app edge. That's really hot. I like that. I've gotten used to these edge panels, and I like it. Now, one thing about the screen that I thought would be a problem is the sensitivity. Samsung has found a way to bring down the sensitivity level, because on the Note 5 I had phantom presses. So far I haven't had any phantom presses on this Note 7. Not bad, Samsung. So the screen is done right this time with this Note 7. I'm pretty impressed. So that brings us into the fingerprint scanner. Now the fingerprint scanner might come across as a little bit slow because this button you have to press down. So if you want to wake up your screen and press at the same time, it's gonna read your finger as you're pressing down on it. So that makes it pretty fast, but it's not the fastest on the market. Okay, this is how you get Samsung Pay to work. Slide it up. So you gotta slide up, fingerprint. Oh, so you gotta swipe up from the bottom. Takes us to Samsung's newest innovation, which is the ISIS scanner. So you swipe up from the top, bang, you're in. Do that again. So instead of using your finger, you pretty much go in with your eyes. 5 megapixel camera. This 5 megapixel camera has definitely impressed me. This 5 megapixel camera you would think will give you some okay pictures, but for some reason this 5 megapixel camera you could take some great selfies with. So that brings us into the speakers. The speaker, it's a one mono speaker, and it's not the greatest speaker around. Samsung needs to find a way to give us more than one speaker. Make it stereo. It's time for Samsung to give us stereo speakers. So let's take a listen on how this speaker sounds. This 3.5 audio jack, I use this. I use this for headphones. I'm always testing out headphones, whether it's Bluetooth or not. In my car, I don't use Bluetooth. I plug in my phone, and that's how I listen to everything. I even talk through the 3.5mm jack. And I plug in the phone to have it charge at the same time. I hear static, man. I hear interference when I'm using this phone in my car. Alright,
Every once in a while we go over there and take a look at the space and go check it out.
I bought it on Amazon and arrived this week.
I'm not happy with the experience that I get in my car with this phone. Now, we all know we spend a lot of time in our cars, so you know how that's affected me. So this brings us into the S Pen. The S Pen, a lot of people say, I don't use the S Pen. Well, you know what? You use the S Pen. I'm sure you use the S Pen, or you forget to use the S Pen. To give you guys an example, I was just on a call and I had to write down an address. Let's take a look. 06 East
Walnut Street.
Walnut Street. Thanks. Look how usable the S Pen is. Now let's say you're on the train, you meet that girl and you want to get that number. Or let's say you're that girl and you meet that guy and you want to get his information. You just pull out the S Pen and you start writing. So the girl name is Kim. You write down Kim, her number 718-222-5555. Look at that. You got the number, you got the digits, you save it, you keep it moving. You never even had to go into your phone. I like that. Now this brings us into this back camera. 12 megapixel camera that I've really been impressed with. The shots that you get from this camera, they're awesome. I'm really impressed. I was looking for a reason to knock this because I was kind of upset that Samsung went from 16 down to 12 megapixels. So let's check out those pics. So you guys cannot argue that those are some phenomenal pics. So the 12 megapixel camera is on point. The video is not bad on this phone also. Let's take a little clip on how the video stabilization is. Which phone got the better stabilization? So I am definitely impressed with the video stabilization. I'm impressed by the pictures. Samsung, you did a great job with the camera once again. Now, this takes us into this Type-C charging. Samsung finally got Type-C charging, and it's fast charging, but it's not the fastest. Also, your battery life, I did a battery life review, so if you guys want to check that out, you can check that out. But if you're using the phone moderately, I can honestly say you might get 16 hours. You might reach 16 hours. So if you're working a double shift at work, you might survive. But I'm not really impressed by the battery life. Now, when I say moderate use, so that means you're not really watching no video. You're keeping the screen brightness to a minimal. And you're not using your phone that much. Now, if you're the type of person, that's not you, and you use the phone a lot, you're going to be disappointed by the battery life, but you might not be. Check out the battery life review. One of the top features of this phone is waterproof. This is what they call IP68 waterproof. So in other words, you don't have to worry about this phone going in water. Let's say, for instance, you made a mistake like me and you dropped it somewhere it don't need to be dropped. Guess what? Your phone should be alright. At least I know it's waterproof. Ah, damn. Snapdragon 820 is one of the fastest chipsets. A lot of the phones right now are coming with Snapdragon 820s. A lot of the phones are coming with 4 gigs of RAM, 3 gigs of RAM, but mostly 4 gigs of RAM. Why would Samsung, with all its features, come with only 4 gigs of RAM? You got the S Pen and all the tricks that the S Pen has. That's going to take up some of your RAM. You got the Edge panel. The Edge panel is going to take up a little bit of that RAM. Fingerprint scanner. It's going to take up a little bit of that RAM. Also, Samsung got its own security in here. That's going to be a problem as well. And you have this ISIS scanner. The ISIS scanner is going to be an issue. Even though it's an extra security. Even though it's good to unlock your phone to use this ISIS scanner. You're in your phone, no problems. But these little features take up RAM. These little feature bogs down your phone. Not only that, Samsung, this is an Android phone, but Samsung has put their layer called TouchWiz over Android. So it's an extra layer over the Android operating system. That also bogs down your phone. So guess what, guys? This is not a lag-free phone. If you're a heavy user, which most Note owners are heavy users, you're gonna have lag, you're gonna have slowdowns, you're gonna have issues with this phone. There'll be times you press an app and you get no response. There'll be a time that, hey, you're surfing through Tumblr, you're surfing through Facebook, and guess what? App crashes. Why? Because not enough RAM for you to have really fun with this phone and use it. So this is my review of the Samsung Note 7. It's a great phone that just needs one thing, a little bit more RAM. This is the problem with this phone. And I'm going to show you guys what we think about the Samsung Note 7. We'll see you in the next one.